Hello, Peter Parnegg is here today to talk about ninja selling on today's show. Welcome to the show. Today we are here with Peter Parnegg, Master Ninja Instructor. If you're not familiar with Ninja, Ninja is the pretty much most cutting edge real estate training out there. I know thousands of people that have been through it, so we're lucky to have Peter here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
And I just wanted to ask you, what is Ninja all about? Why are people so excited?
You know, we have a phrase at Ninja that says, everybody likes to buy and nobody likes to be sold. And so I've been in the real estate business about 40 years, and I looked through the history of every training I ever went to, and it was always about prospecting, about how to gain customers, how to overcome objections, how to learn new selling techniques. And Ninja really changed the way we look at the whole thing. That said, wait a second, if nobody likes to be sold, why do we spend so much time teaching us how to sell? So we have 4 principles at Ninja. The first one is to stop selling and start attracting. The second one is we're going to focus our entire business on building relationships with people that we already know. The third is that we're going to be customer centric, and the fourth is we're going to pursue a path of personal mastery. And when you really look at that, almost everybody I know who's in sales, especially in real estate sales, really likes the process of helping people sell a house or buy a house, but nobody likes really the idea of, I'm in sales, because I'd probably have to say that most people don't respond positively to the term salesperson or a pitch man or any of that. So what Larry Kendall, who designed the program, realized is, wait a second, if we could make a system where people don't have to do something that fundamentally makes them uncomfortable, which also makes the people that they deal with uncomfortable, we'd be onto something. And the reason our adoption is so spectacular is that when you start to learn the system, you go, wait, I'm not doing that thing that I don't like, and I'm not doing that thing that my customers don't like, which makes it real user-friendly.
Okay, so I always like to say, and I don't know if we're on the same track here, but I always like to say there's 3 important things, right? Leads, leads, and leads. So how does the Ninja system help you develop leads? It's completely different than purchasing leads and all that stuff, right? Like, what is the lead generation tools all about?
Well, our belief is that people like to do business with people they know, like, and trust. That right now, especially in 2018, everything is about, if I have a need for anything, I go to my friends first. And I say, who would you use? Who would you use? In the real estate business, it could be as simple as, I've got a closing coming up and I've got a hot water heater that needs to be replaced. Who do you know that could do it fast and at a proper value? Well, what we realize is that the people that are best prospects for us are the people we know. And there's this really interesting thing that happens with realtors, is that we forget that the 200 people we know are really our best source of business. And here's an amazing statistic we just heard from Harris Interactive, that each person that I know is relatively close to 4 people who will need a realtor this year. So if I'm connected at a real level, and we're going to really differentiate between superficial connection and real connection, if I'm connected to 200 people, they are connected to 800 people this year who will probably do some sort of a real estate transaction. Buy a new house, sell a new house, buy a rental, sell a rental, any of those things. So our whole focus, it's our number 2 principle, is we have a business strategy of focusing on people that we already know. And that then we have a whole day-long process about how we stay literally in flow with those people. And if you can have a process and a system to stay in flow with them, we say you're going to have an overflow of clients coming towards you, frankly, more business than you can handle, if you follow a process and a system to cultivate and maintain those relationships. As we say, 1 calendar sent on January 1st a year does not a relationship make.
I agree. So that being the case, let me ask you this. So notoriously, when people start new in the business, they always tell me, well, I don't want to bug my friends and I don't want to bug my family. How do you feel about that?
Well, we believe that sentiment is correct. So the core Ninja principle is, how do I create value for people? We believe that people will pay money for 2 things, either to solve a problem or create pleasure. And that money flows to value. so that the whole core principle of Ninja is how can we create significant value for the people that we know so they come to us rather than I chase them. Your key word was bug. Well, if you are chasing people and asking them for business all the time, that is not creating value for them. It's really all about me. And so in our customer-centric module, we recognize that if I can create value on literally a weekly or a monthly basis for the people that I know, they will naturally seek me and I will never be prospecting. We have something called the pursuer distancer dance. When people are chased, what do they naturally do? They run away. And so all of the training I had for 40 years was prospecting. Well, prospecting is just a code word for chasing. And so when you chase people, they run away. I don't feel good as the chaser, and certainly our customers don't. So the idea is to focus on a system and a process of creating value so they seek us.
I like it. I like it. So another reason that I think people get into real estate, and they're always in for this surprise. So of course, friends and family and engaging them and building a relationship is important, and being willing to get that support. But also, I'm finding that a lot of people they get a little disenchanted with the business because they realize somebody's advising them that they need to go knock doors, or they need to cold call, or they need to buy leads. This is pretty much the opposite of that, right?
It's completely the opposite of. As a matter of fact, one of our beliefs is that when you are your best authentic self, it's when you are your most attractive. So we like to say that every training I ever went to, they said, well, there's one of the big training platforms in the country says, you have to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And you've got to get out of your comfort zone. Well, my experience is every time I'm forced out of my comfort zone, I will naturally revert to it in 2 or 3 days. So you go to a training, you hear all this stuff, and you go, I don't really want to do that, but I guess to be successful, I'm going to have to.
Door knocking.
All the things you just mentioned. You try it for about 4 days, and you go, I hate this. And that's when that moment comes where you go, if this is what's required to do this business, I'm tapping out right now. And which is why we have this gigantic revolving door in our industry, because really what we've been teaching people is unpalatable. And so we completely disagree with the notion of you have to get out of your comfort zone. At Ninja, we say, let's get more into our comfort zone, because when you are your best authentic self and creating meaningful value for people, you don't have to knock doors. You don't have to do those cold prospecting techniques that really turn us all off to the business.
I'm actually happy to hear that, because for me, like as a broker, sometimes I've talked to my clients, and I did have an agent leave because they said I did not push them into that uncomfortable zone enough. I wasn't forcing them to go knock doors and do that, but I always felt that if they're doing the things that they love, which is we are in the people business, and if they're making people happy and building relationships, then they're going to be more successful.
Adding value.
And so it's refreshing to hear that. So I mean, one of the coolest things about Ninja, and I just want to let you know, I've had multiple agents go through. My number one agents in 2 of my offices, 4 days long, correct? And both of them said, and they're over 300,000, I mean, great agents, tons of kids, I mean, they do it all. And they said that they not for one second wished it was over. They just said it could have kept going and going and going because they learned so much. And ever since then, their businesses have flourished. I mean, and they told me that Ninja has actually increased their business, they estimate about 30%. And doing it the right way. They're happy with themselves, they're balanced. So that's why I'm so happy you're here. And it's refreshing to hear that you don't have to knock doors, you don't have to make cold calls, you don't have to buy leads if you set your business up right. Now, is this setup good for somebody that's new, for the medium agent, or for the top producer? Like in your opinion, who's the best served by Ninja?
Well, I'll give you the start of our concept here is that the real estate business can be really consumptive. I call it sometimes an oil spill. It can coat your life. But instead of living to work, at Ninja our goal is to work to live, to fund your passion. Our core phrase is, let's increase your income per hour so you can have a life. So let's go through the gamut of, I know one person who went through it 3 months before they got their license. And they said, that was really great because I could digest it without the pressure of passing the test. When I saw it, I said to my now former partner, Mike Carter, if we had just known this from the beginning. So we think it's fabulous if you're 1 to 6 months in, because you have a system and a way to do it. And then for the $1 million, and GCI, not $1 million producers, but the guys, doing 40, 50 million, it finally is a sane way to do it. So you're not working 24/7, 365, 20 years, and you go, man, I made a lot of money, but I forgot my kids' names. And so it is, in this strange, it's ideal for wherever you are in your career progression.
So that being the case, because how many agents do we get that are new and they show up, they've got their phone, they're ready to go, they show up at their desk, they've quit their jobs, they're ready to roll, and then they get to the office the first day and they're
Now
lost.
what?
They're lost.
Now what?
So you kind of give them a framework of how to build a business that gives you a balanced life, that builds relationships, and that's rewarding.
Well, where we really focus, and this is where the aha came for me, is the industry turns out this scads of what we call on-accident realtors. You get a real estate license, you learn nothing about how to be a realtor. Hopefully you go to a training company, but as we know, about 3/4 of the agents don't. And then they're deer in the headlights. And even at a great training company, what we realized at Coldwell Banker Legacy, we give them snippets. And we have a big training program, but what Ninja did for me and why we've adopted it is it gives you a total process every day, so you know what to do, how to do it, and the mystery's gone. The mystery's gone, so that it's like, what do I do on Tuesday? Well, follow the Ninja 9, do this, and then it's so relieving not to be panicking.
Okay, so let me ask you this, just because this is big. I mean, the fact of knowing what to do and having a business plan, that's what it's all about, right? So how long would you say the techniques and things that you train, how much effort does it require every day in terms of the actions they need to do to keep the system going? I mean, it's probably minimal, right?
Well, the thing that's so cool, we say it's easy to do and it's easy not to do. I don't know if you've ever read The Slight Edge, one of my favorite books of all time. The cool thing about our system, it's totally user-friendly. It's user-friendly for the agent and it's user-friendly for the customer. The problem with things that are easy to do, they're also easy not to do. But the reason we're so successful amongst all the training programs in the country is, it's like, I can do that. I can do that. When we finish 4 days and I recap and I go, is there anything we suggested you do here? Wait, let's see. Be good to your customers. Have a system. Stay in touch with them by adding value and never asking them for business. We have scrubbed out any request for business. It's so counterintuitive, because the thing that turns a great conversation in, right at the end now, Chuck, if I said, oh, by the way, do you know anybody that's thinking of buying or selling? It would take a wonderful interaction and turn it into a pitch. And so we've removed all that stuff, because in 2018, we believe that everybody knows how the world goes around and works. So that if you have created value for me, I naturally have that quid pro quo response of, here, let me help you out. And so the great part about it is, it only takes the consistency of focus, not the consistency of moving out of your comfort zone. So our results are spectacular. On average, the goal of Ninja Selling is to have you 20% up above the market. So if the market's up 20, you're up 40. We're on average up between 29 and 40% above the market.
Right.
Because it's easy to do.
Right, and that is true, and I know you did a big event down in San Diego, and that company has actually truly taken off since you were there, and they credit Ninja. So anyways, okay, so someone, a broker, an agent that's interested in getting involved or getting out and maybe attending one of the events, how should they go about that? 2
ways to do it. We like to do it at a company, which is really great, because then you have people that are similar. But we have events going on all over the country. If you go to ninjaselling.com, click on events, you can see where they are. Some are obviously Coldwell Banker, some aren't. But you sign up and you show up, and it's really simple.
Okay, sounds good. Ninjaselling.com, events calendar. And now if somebody is not with a company that's doing this, there's plenty of opportunities though for the individual jump on.
Absolutely, absolutely.
The cool thing is, like I said, for us, my people are super excited. I know for Coldwell Banker West, they have taken off like rockets.
Yep.
Everybody's been through it down there. I mean, probably over 100 and something people.
Yeah.
And they live and die by it. So, Peter, thank you very much for coming. And I'm super excited. Ninjaselling.com. And if there's any way that you're interested in doing it, go to ninjaselling.com, hit the events button. Peter Parnegg is the best speaker. I'm telling you, I went to your stuff. He totally keeps you captivated and will transfer your business like that. So thanks, Peter, for coming. I really appreciate it.
Chuck, thank you for your time. Have a great day.
Okay, guys.
See you soon.
Have a great real estate day. Get out there, make it happen. Look up ninjaselling.com.